This Sunday is the 11th Sunday in Ordinary Time in Year B. The first reading this Sunday is from the book of Ezekiel. About 580 years before Jesus, Jerusalem was captured by the king of Babylon. Many Israelites were taken captive. We spoke about that event, the Babylonian exile, on the fourth Sunday of Lent this year. Ezekiel was a Jewish priest, or at least a trainee Jewish priest, at the time he was taken captive at the age of 25. Ezekiel had his first vision of God at the age of 30. He became recognized by others as a prophet, a person who could communicate with God and share God's messages. The book of Ezekiel was not written by him. The book is a collection of his prophecies written down by other people. The messages that Ezekiel received from God often involved a lot of symbolism. In this Sunday's first reading, we hear Ezekiel speak about cedar. A cedar is a large tree which is native to the Mediterranean area, often beautiful. Ezekiel's message that we hear this Sunday is of God promising to take a shoot from the highest branch of an old cedar and to plant the shoot on the high mountain of Israel, where it will grow into a new cedar, which will shelter every kind of bird. A main focus of the book of Ezekiel was the hopeful message that his people, living in exile, could look forward to a new kingdom of their own. In this week's reading, the old cedar is a symbol of the ancestors of the Israelites living in exile, and the new cedar is a symbol of the new kingdom that they could look forward to. The second reading this Sunday is again from the second letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians, and again it's a popular reading at funerals. Paul speaks of living in our bodies as being in a kind of exile from God, and Paul reminds us that we can all look forward to confidently getting back home with God at the end of our earthly experience. So the first and second readings this week draw a parallel between the experience of exile that Ezekiel endured and the earthly experience that we all share. We continue exploring Mark's Gospel this week, and this Sunday's reading is from chapter 4 of Mark. In chapter 4, Mark records a number of simple parables that Jesus used to explain complex things. This Sunday we hear two: the parable of the growing seed and the even more famous parable of the mustard seed. In the parable of the mustard seed, Jesus uses language very similar to Ezekiel to describe the kingdom of God.